is. We're going to have to see if they can do it, though. Mirage first up, the map that the analysts felt was their best chance to really get on the board. Starting off a best of 3 with a win is always a nice endeavor, and Sundai Young puts the bullet between the eyes of MDS on the approach. Looking for more. There's a gap in that smoke, and he's going to make the most of it. Second kill goes down. Box has also been tagged out. And this is looking a little bit scary for Nemiga. They're going to try and push the bomb through the murder hole. Mia's whiffed a ton of bullets, and that's going to allow the T's now to push and spill out towards the CT side. This was looking like it was going the way of Spirit, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, Nemiga, they own CT spawn now. It's their real estate, and they're going to use it to get to B. Free plant, Chopper, aggressed off the catwalk, has to go back into the bomb site, but it's not going to be an easy one. Plant can come through, and they're planting a market as well, right? It's in the corner, but you've got a player in the doorway anyway. So this is a really good setup now for Nemiga. They've got to clear close. Sundai Young going first. He does take his shot, but Lollipop dropped. Now Box on 10, and this is suddenly a very doable retake. Time being the biggest issue. Tag onto Geo, a dink. Only 2 damage. Box trades and they close the round. That is ridiculous. Nemiga do get it done after all, as they maybe should have, considering how they started that round. But boy, I saw those whiffs, Mir. I saw those whiffs.
As did I. That was difficult to watch. And I feel if Mia just gets 1 kill from that, that's probably the round done. It would have been a really awkward position, and that player in CT could have swept in from the side and cleaned up the rest. So that's a costly mistake. And we saw how aggressive Nemiga were yesterday on their Mirage. They were so aggro. The likes of Box, in particular, was a player who was so crazy with his entry frags. He just seemed to be everywhere. And of course, as I've highlighted him, he's been smashed by Idis Balancing Scout.
Oh no, the molly under. There's 2 players there. They're going to smoke it, but that's just info for Nemiga. They know what they're up against now. If one player needs to run out here and die and give away the fact that they're here, so now Nemiga hopefully stop considering the position, but Sundai Young has yet to move. However, Gio not clearing yet. Sundai Young, oh, it takes him 3 shots. That's too many shots, as now he's stuck under the bow. Speedak killing Mia, and Sundai Young goes wide. Speedak, great kills from him. It's going to get traded from the ramp flank, finding the bomb is Chopper in a one-on-one. Lollipop trying to grab control back of it. Oh no, he doesn't get the package. Chopper doesn't know that though, and Lollipop can use it to his advantage, going round the edge of the smoke. Chopper's watching for this, the bomb being secured, but a gun not. Chopper still on the dig, is going to wait out the smoke as Lollipop crosses back.
That smoke was so good from Chopper just to mix up his angles of aggression, and now Lollipop decides, look, I don't want any part of this site. Like, you have it, it's fine. I'm going to go plant on B. And now it's up to Chopper. What does he do about this? He's going to probably, I'd imagine, flank through the B app side, but surely if you're in a position where you've last seen the player in ramp, it stands to reason that's probably the area he's going to be coming from. So maybe Chopper actually mixes it up instead.
Yeah, he goes for the AK as well. There's loads over the site, so he gets a gun, but now he's moving into the market. He's got to break the window. Now there's no guessing games. There's no surprises here for Lollipop. He can't afford to lose this, but Chopper is quick as anything. That is despicable. Lollipop had the round, man. He knew exactly what was going on. Chopper was not, hiding his position, but he's ready for the repeat.
Mate, if you're Lollipop, that is a full-on bruh moment as Chopper rips your head off. Like, that flick from Chopper was so slick. And keep in mind, like, Spirit force buying, if they lose that, Nemiga are in such a commanding position. And as it stands, Nemiga are in trouble. Like, they've got 1 player over $2,500 to $3,000, and that's Speedak. And he typically wants to pick up the AWP. So this actually really screws him up, going for the AWP earlier in the game if they go for a force. If they force here, he's not going to have an AWP for a while. If they peace out and go for some pistols, then he will probably have it in the next round. So that's maybe why the timeout is coming in play. Actually, they're actually saying it's technical, I think. Yeah, it's a tech issue, which I think has just been fixed.
Tech goblins under the desks, unplugging wires all over. We're back to the action. But yeah, I mean... Oh, okay. This is interesting, Vince. This is very interesting. Nemiga aren't forcing. They're not trying to continue the force buy wars. They're actually giving it up, maybe because of the bomb plan. And that's a rare one to see in round number 3. A team taking a Glock eco. So, maybe somewhat realistic. Maybe aware that Spirit would have obviously a lot more weaponry. And of course, the knowledge that you can get guns up in the follow-up round regardless. So that's what they're waiting for. Any damage here would be lovely. Lollipop's got dig armor. No one else has anything, though. Going to try and move through middle. There's a crossfire. Mir getting aggressive. Needs support. Idis balance will bring the heat. And the spray control is perfect. It's going to be Geo left alone, coming in from under. That's exactly where Spirit want to put him.
Sure, and I think another reason why they've tapped out on the potential buy is this allows Speedak to having an AWP now, which is a crucial key part of their buy. He's up to $6,000, so he can afford one no problems, and it's a very solid, healthy buy now that Nemiga will be plucking for themselves. Meanwhile, there's still an MP9 in Chopper's hands. I mean, it's not necessarily the end of the world. They don't have an AWP though, which is pretty significant. So Nemiga actually have the advantage in terms of arsenal of weaponry coming through into this.
Oh, drop under. That's not going to be knowledge that Nemiga have because of the top mid smoke. So Box is going into a very dangerous area, but he's got the results. Trade is there for Mir. Big frag. He can escape as well through the B apartments if he wants to. It's being controlled by Nemiga, though. Geo's coming to clear that position. There's still a man at the top of middle trying to... Oh, dear. Trying to cut Mir off. He gets on top of the bench, and he avoids the bullets that fire below him, eventually escaping to the connector. Nice stuff from Mir. He doesn't hang around. He doesn't die to the underplayer. He just gets out of there and keeps things in a 4-on-4, keeps things traded. Still favorable for Nemiga, and they have the AWP alive. Where will they be going? Grouping towards B by the looks of things. Chopper there. The one SMG, the one guy without a gun is alone on B. But luckily, Magix is clearing ramp. And so while that's a two-man push, it should free up Idis balance to rotate. Of course, he's still holding on to the middle area. So hopefully sooner rather than later as the bomb sets up to take control. And I mean, at this point, Spirit should know what's going on. They've got so much info from this T-spawn wrap.
Yeah, they have sent over that second player, as you highlighted, which is Idis balance to join on Chopper on towards B. Meanwhile, Speedak taking point with the AWP. This is where the AWP could be so deadly, and indeed it is. They see a pixel, they execute off it. That secondary player now is last man standing for Chopper. Does dink MDS, but it's not going to be enough to stop the bomb from getting planted, and Speedak repositioning perfectly. This is why they held fire on that buy. The AWP having so much impact, and Nemiga looking like they're going to bounce back in with another round and really break Spirit down one more time. But they did basically have a bonus round, so they're going to be okay to buy the next one anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Spirit believed the info that they got, right? Magic's pushed ramp, but he, instead of like flanking T-spawn to B, he flanks Palace. Nothing wrong with that, right? Like, just to make sure, I've definitely seen games where teams have pushed ramp and like there's been like 2 or 3 Palace with the bomb and they flank and they go top mid and they go B and they're like, where are they? And then an A execute comes through, right? That's certainly a thing. But, you know, off the back of him clearing Palace, you know, it would have been nice to see that other A-site player rotating and going towards B, just full stacking it and playing retake on the easy site to retake, which is A. You know, it's a gamble regardless, but in a man disadvantage like that, it's probably the best play. Either way, Spirit 2-2. They have an AWP as well. Box is on a Mac 10, and I wonder if that's him miscalculating the economy. What does work is there's no head armor, right, apart from Magic. So, you know, the Mac 10's good in that example, but yeah, they're going to go for a B rush, and that's mainly the reason for it, going fast and furious. Only one man, though, making all the noise, everyone else sneaking, Box throwing the util, and Spirit have only heard one dude running, so they're not going to send any rotates, and that's a lineup. Geo kills 2 on the site, and Nemiga, that's the round 1.
Yeah, they're going to save. Spirit really can't do much else about this. They've got an AWP, an AK, and M4. No reason to throw these away. So they had the bonus round. They used it. They lost it as well. They lost it, I should say, as well. And now you're looking at a situation where Spirit have basically been undone by what amounts to a B rush. Like, there wasn't that much intricate or that much really spicy in that play. They just got rushed down and fragged. And that is definitely going to send shockwaves towards the CT side for Spirit now. They're going to be worrying about the potential of them rinsing and repeating doing this going forward.
Yeah, I like a well-executed B rush, right? When not one where we just go, guys, rush B, but one where everyone knows their role and like knows what smoke they're throwing and like, you know, just far more calculated there by Nemiga. They know they're sneaking, they're hiding the information from Spirit. I mean, the lineup, the double kill, that certainly works wonders. Not something you can consistently get. But it wins them the round, because if you ever lose 2 players in a site that fast without a kill to your favor, or at least some time being stalled out for rotations, often the other CTs are just entrenched in the other bomb site and they just have to save. So Spirit can't even consider rotating there. It was too late. Nemiga going back for it, Vince. They're giving it another run for the money. Fast flashes this time. But again, the slow, cruel Box throwing his grenades. And this is going to do so much work in conditioning as well, because Box can do this play solo. He doesn't need his team there later on if they want to sell a fake. Now it's a commitment. Only one man here. They run through the smoke. Chopper's not ready for it. Geo takes him down. And now kill after kill in favor of Nemiga traded. And they've got the B bomb side as well. I think they were expecting a second player. They haven't rushed this plant, but there was only one man on B this round. And that's an error of Spirit. Does, however, allow for this flank through the apartments.
Yeah, conditioning is definitely the apt description. I mean, this is like Pavlov's dogs, and like the B site is the meal, the juicy, enticing meal. The Spirit have to keep on worrying about every time that bell is rung. And Spirit making moves outside of kitchen. Magics with the AK headshot. They're actually going to be going in for this with Geo, lone bastion of hope. He gets sprayed down. Is there enough time for this defuse? There may be with the kit, but actually the play going on without the kit first may put this out. No, he's got it. He's okay. I thought that little mistake may have cost them dearly, but a successful retake comes in.
As long as you realize quickly, it's okay, right? There were just a couple of seconds left. And I want to talk about how Lollipop said that they were confident, or he was confident in playing Spirit, right? Like the fact that Nemiga's game style matches up well. Spirit, very calculated team. They like taking their time. They like making the right decision, even if that takes a few seconds. And Nemiga, they're a very fast, aggressive team. And what this does is it can force Spirit to play to the style of Nemiga on this T side with really quick trades and having to adapt really, really fast on the fly. If Nemiga want to continue to play rushes and play spawn-based Counter-Strike, then that is how Nemiga can steal away a game from Spirit, something like that, catching them off guard. Spirit, though, need to have their wits about them at all times. This A site has been rumbled. There's a man out Palace. There's one fighting ramp. Box is very deep. The bomb is going to come back to the site, but Spirit, they aren't taking any engagements. They're just giving up A right now, which is a very interesting one, considering Nemiga own A and the jungle, if you look at Box, but the bomb is in B apps. It's finally coming back through T-spawn. But Spirit, I don't know how much information they have here. They should know how deep these players are, and they do. Box is dead. MDS gets one, traded from the connector, and this is like Spirit welcoming in their opponents, only to have 4 on the site.
Lollipop, though, flicks up to some Die Young. Out comes Mia, and down goes Mia. Lollipop's not done just yet either. Nearly gets a third. Magix, who's shown his hand with the AWP quite a few times over the duration of the tournament, is going to dip in with another kill. 2v2. Speedak is against his opposite number of Idis balance with the AWP. And then Geo up against Magix with the rifles. All to play for. Very much on a razor's edge as the retake is going to be coming in. They were successful last time around, but that success stops right here. And Nemiga regained the lead, and Spirit's economy is going to suffer as a result.
Just a very weird round where Nemiga, are clearly arguing with a decision and going, oh, we have A, but I don't have any kills. There's no one on A. They might be B stack. Get the bomb out of B. It's just so back and forth. It didn't seem like they were welcomed into A. Spirit gave them the A site for a reason, only because they wanted to, make them commit and then just play retake as a unit. I don't know. That's an odd round. Either way, it's one that Spirit are going to come to forget with full USPs in this one. Nemiga's chance to take a further lead, and they know it's eco as well. You can tell by the passive play. I like that from Nemiga, right? They run a lot of fast rifle rounds, and the second they go up against pistols, they stop and they hold and they start to wait for the pushes, as that's very common to see in a round like this, rather. Box removing that one rifle and a lot more behind it. So this should certainly be Nemiga's round. They got it locked in, everyone dead, and Lollipop with 3.
Yeah, Lollipop was one of the main men last time around they played this map. It was against Winstrike when they actually beat them 16-6, and Lollipop ended that with 23 kills and 108 ADR with a 1.72 rating. So not too shabby at all. Definitely a player to watch out for. The other one we mentioned was Box. He actually had 5 raw entry frags in that game. On the T side, getting a lot of work done. And if you remember, Hugo, they kept hitting A over and over and over again against Winstrike. So it's been interesting that they've mixed their T side up here so far. They played more mid and more B hits.
They definitely know that if there were to be a team that's going to do some preparation, do some research, it would be Spirit. A lot behind this team. and a lot of brain on it as well. So yeah, Nemiga not wanting to remain predictable. And also, I think a lot of that was confidence. They clearly felt they were better than Winstrike, and so they wanted to show that by just aggressing and taking dry A fights. This time they can't do that. They are the underdogs in this series, even though they might be favored on this map. They're going to go fast. Oh my, Chopper shows them why they got to respect the name. It's going to be your finest balance to drop the bomb. Speedak pushed Cat's side, and while they don't know that, it's not an issue just yet. The only problem is the triple market rotation, as that gives room for Speedak to move, but without the bomb, how much can he even do?
Probably not much, to be fair. He's going to try and slowly edge his way around through short side and see if he can maybe get a pick with his AWP. But I disbalance, just watching the angle, waiting,
nice.
And will be rewarded for his patience. But that flick from Chopper with the FAMAS was ludicrous. It was instant as well. It's like he perfectly timed when he was going to get the first kill to transition into the second. So nice.
Yeah, this is definitely competitive. That's what I wanted, right? With like two good maps for both teams to start off this series, right? Mirage and Dust, both very puggy maps, very CIS, both good maps for these teams. And then Nuke as a third and final. 80 maps played for either team, 61% win rate for either team. It couldn't be more identical because it is identical. So yeah, this series is certainly going to go the distance. And Nemiga, man up in this round, a round up in this map, and they're going to move up Cat.
Opening pick was nearly equalized. Lollipop manages to survive with 10 HP. Is the most expendable of the players, though, with the Deagle. Trade out on short. Gonna favor the terrorists. More damage done. MDS being tagged down, nearly fragged. Well, Speedak misses, gets punished from Sumdai Young. What a scrappy round.
He almost got a second shot off there. He almost had another chance to kill him, but Sumdai Young whips out the pistol and has now grabbed an orb, maybe even to save. Will that be allowed? Doesn't look like it. Lollipop. Oh, he quick switched after one. He thought it was done. Honestly, if they killed him there without him getting a kill, that would have gone from like a likely save to a retake. Now it's just Sumdai Young, and not an easy one by any means. Full util and the kit, but the time is just ticked away at this point. MDS, oh, he gets spotted, but Sumdai Young, other than getting the kill, the round is going to be slipping past him. He's going to try and stick the bomb, but Geo shouldn't let this one happen.
He will die as a result of that, though. But gets the round. Yeah, I was getting scared. We've already seen a few of those today, Hugo, on Mirage as well. And you better believe that Nemiga were getting even more scared. That was terrifying. Both teams looking like they want to stand and trade again. Both going to go in for full buys. So Spirit's buy is pretty lackluster. It's not that Nemiga's is necessarily great, though.
I don't know, it feels like some players, the Mac-10 can be better than an AK, especially when they do that. Box just walks right by Sumdai Young, giving him a back rub as he kills him in the connector. Look at him go. The flick's back with a Mac-10. I've never seen a Mac-10 flick, and he's going to find 3. Site cleared on A. It's only the Cat player of Mia. And he would need a miracle to win this 1 on 5. It's not going to happen. It's Nemiga finding 7. A strong T side already being shown.
That was exactly what Box was doing yesterday on A. He just seemed so comfortable being really aggressive through connector or pushing ramp or palace and just getting in the face. Like a proper entry in the sense of the term of super aggressive, 0 cares given, just let me rush out. If I get a kill, I've done my job. And it's just ridiculous. As you say, though, I think the Mac-10 definitely does feel in some players' hands maybe a little bit more special because I think it frees you up mentally. Like there's a certain layer of expectancy and expectation when you have an AK. With a Mac-10, it's almost like you've already kind of signed the death certificate. You know that you're probably going to go down, so you may as well just take as many players with you as possible.
Amanek is a great example of someone who loves the Mac-10. Like I'm looking at his stats now. His 4th most used weapon is the Mac-10 at 1,000 kills. Like that's crazy. That's so rare. So it's usually like a pistol in the 4th slot, or you know, Deagle or a USP. So yeah, I don't know, crazy stuff. very good with the gun. MDS is now taking his hand at the same weapon and to devastating results. 2 kills into the site, 3rd gone. And Magix and iDisbalance too far away to have any impact, any input into the site take. It's going to be an 8th. Nemiga, they've been very, very good at just staying grouped, committing as a unit, trading, just playing basic Counter-Strike very well. And that can be hard to beat when you're Spirit, when the trades are good and the players are better.
Yeah, there is definitely an element of deja vu as well to the game I just mentioned before with Winstrike, where the first half, they picked up a 10-5 lead, but 3 of those rounds for Winstrike came in the last 4 rounds. They mustered up a comeback 3 of the last 4. Very similar kind of style. Nemiga, I don't want to say no respect shown, because I think there is some respect being shown, but just ruthless aggression. And I love to watch it. I love to watch a team that's not scared to sometimes just throw in rushes. It's just you don't want to become too telegraphed with that. You need to mix up the pace.
And they've done that when required, right? On ecos, they've held defaults. They've waited for Spirit to push. They haven't walked into any stacks yet. So, yeah, I'd say this game plan for Nemiga going pretty damn well. Let's see if it keeps up. Final few rounds. This is the make and break, Vince. While this game, doesn't feel close, these 3 rounds decide if it's a stomp at halftime or if it's a comeback for Spirit. And right now, they want to come back into play. It's Magix trading out on A with Box. He's going to leave the site. Spirit know that because, or at least know he's not committing because they have the cross from jungle. But the jungle is all a distraction. MDS boosted up, gets a kill, follows up onto Sunday Young with a trade. And that's 3 A picks with Chopper aggressing on Cat and Mirror in the window. There's no question marks left for Nemiga. They have all the info in the world.
Box needs to go back and pick up the bomb, though. And this is time that's going to be allowing Spirit to move in and potentially rotate towards the B side. As you said, though, Geo is already here in a very scary position. Anyone that rotates in, you're not going to expect this. So Chopper's walking into his death. Never had a chance. Never in a million years would have expected a player who sat there at this point. And that pretty much is the round that should be following. Mia shouldn't really be in with a chance at a 1v2 clutch. He doesn't have a kit either. I'm not sure if Chopper maybe dropped one, but he's going to be dealing with a Molotov if he wants to go past, and he takes 50% of his damage, but he feels like he needs to get the element of surprise. He needs to get up close, but it's not going to happen. Nemiga had read the script. They knew exactly what was coming up, and they moved themselves to 9-4.
This is excellently played by Nemiga, and I don't see them slowing down, really, Vince. Like, look at the money of Spirit. This could be an 11-4 half on the T side of their map pick. Spirit, they're not full buying. They want something in the last round, but as a result, they're left with only Deagles and a lone scout on iDisbalance. It's not like we've had anyone like playing, oh, that's a shot. Okay, forget what I was about to say, because Nemiga, they want to go for a fast contact on A, but they're walking into an aggressive ramp setup. 2 players pushed down. Magix might want to go for that gun, but if he does, he'll go to his death. Geo flash in the corner, moves up, checks it, and now Nemiga going to start to clear out the site. The ruthless aggression you were talking about, Vince, it's incoming.
But so is iDisbalance's scout, which has now been took down. There were glimmers of Lackey's play on the table for a moment, but now nades and flashes being exchanged, landing on some Dayon. Hell of a flick from MDS, but the bomb's now been dropped down, and the Deagles are getting into that kind of range where things get a little bit scary, a little bit tentative. Going to be smoking off Mia. That does afford them a chance at a bomb plan, but Mia's going to push through that smoke because there's no cover to help him out. This is actually possible, and Mia's going to clutch it as Lollipop walks into the dig. He didn't cover his bomb plant. What a nightmare.
What? I'm trying to track back. Did they know Mir was con? Because he was looking around like he didn't know, but I swear Mir crossed past his view to get into that position anyway. And yeah, the lack of cover, I mean, that loses the round. Plain and simple, no other question about it. Maybe sticking the bomb there wasn't even necessary. Like in the 2-on-1, you've got to expect he's close. And yeah, the smoke push is ballsy, don't get me wrong, but what else can Mir really do in that position? So, I don't want to blame the victim here, but like, damn. They made that easy for Mir. They really did. And damn, this guy will take every opportunity he's got. Definitely one of the more, if not the most exciting player on this roster. Actually, I say exciting. I think iDisbalance will fit under that, as AWPers often do. Flashy, explosive AWPers like himself. But yeah, Mir, I mean, we know how long this guy's been playing. We know what he's accomplished. We know what he can accomplish. And it's honestly great to see him in the server today. Nemiga boosting, but this is being watched. This is being waited for. Someday Young doesn't get the shot off. MDS is quick. That's the right eye peek, favoring him pretty fast. And, ooh, Chopper, he could find the bomb. He's a little late to the party, but it's in the hallway. It's in his favor. And if Gio doesn't expect this and doesn't have his gun out, this could be the package lost. But no, Gio grabs it and runs away. Chopper never cleared the corner. He lets them take the bomb from under his feet.
I think it's better if though. Gio's gone back in. He's moved back in. He decided against it. The call must have came through that they wanted to end B. And so they've walked into Chopper. He's dropped the bomb down, but he's encircled. Look at all those T's. They're all wrapping around him. 25 seconds to go. This leaves Nemiga very little opportunity for any mistakes.
They gotta go. They gotta sprint. They can't stop. And neither can Idis Balance. Maybe he should have. It's Box in the corner, cutting off the rotate. And now the bomb dropping onto the site is going to go down in time unless they get Box out of this position, which at this point doesn't seem likely. Mir's on the flank. He does have Lollipop with his back turned currently, and he knows it as well. Takes the kill. Doesn't even want to wait for a little bit more. Doesn't want to play the trigger discipline. He now has to move in fast. With Magic's on the orb, the pressure's on Mir, and the face is gone. Great grenade, but the shot is better, and they can even boost up here or just play the double setup. Speedak now hiding, MDS going for the fight. There's no way he'll expect two players in this position, and oh no, if he swings it, he is going to be in for a nasty surprise. Realizes the worst way, and Nemiga gets 10 rounds. I love it. Like, the little cheesy ideas in the postmark, the double up van, you never see things like that, but it works. It wins them the round. Magic's kills one, never expects another. Nemiga are looking good, man.
They really are. Honestly, like, again, I think it was Ven that says that he doesn't want to have recency bias because we've casted these guys quite a bit in the past and they've had some really good performances, but you can't fault their T sides, man. Their T sides have looked so good.
Yeah, I guess now is the test, right? Spirit moving over to that exact same half, and Nemiga have to do the defense now, do the dirty. Double palace setup. Dink comes a box in the connector. They're going to molly the window to allow these mid players to move con side, and Gio running could get heard. Magic's coming in from Palace, but they haven't seen him. They've got the kills on con instead. And what? You think that T side is good? How about a flawless pistol?
That will definitely add a little bit of danger, a little bit of threat to Spirit. I'm sure they're not too proud about that one. And more importantly as well, they didn't get a bomb plant. So they don't have the luxury of the Glils, the AKs that we often see, even the Scouts. Actually, they're going to completely hold fire. They tap out of this entirely. They know 11-5 behind. If they go in for a force, they lose. They're looking at 13-5 deficit, and then they're pretty much 1 foot out of this map already. So they're going to be playing for that better buy coming up. Full Glocks, though, this should just be a foregone conclusion. This should be things dropping in favor of Nemiga again with the 12-5. Maybe they can try and fake or wrap onto the site and get a bomb plant, but that's pretty much all they could hope for. And they've lost Chopper already, so I mean, this round is going the way you'd really expect. Down goes Idis Balance. That's the bomb that goes with him. And, well, rip Spirit.
Spirit, I guess. Mir, his head's poking out there. Gio will give him a haircut. And Nemiga, well, they're dishing out everything they can. Bullets and all 12-5. I mean, this is not, you know, it's weird because I know this isn't the Spirit that we've seen throughout any of 2020, and so I don't want to count them out here at 12-5. I think the chance we've seen already comebacks all across the board today. The chance the Spirit suddenly win some rifle rounds and start building, I think, is very likely. It starts with a bonus round for Nemiga with 3 SMGs. This is the perfect opportunity for Spirit to make things happen. If they don't, if they drop this round, this map is done.
I think you've painted the picture pretty much spot on there, Hugo, and I'm sure that Spirit are on board as well. They know how important, how vital this round is. Now, of course, remember, this isn't an elimination match. This is the winner's match. The loser of this will still continue on their journey. Just the winner gets to the next phase that little bit sooner. So lots and lots on the table to play for. And Nemiga, not really going for anything too audacious. They do have 2 players now pushing into underpass, so pardon me on that one. And the MP9 with 2 kills. Box and Speedak have locked it down. That's brutal.
Spirit have had no answers, and Nemiga have had so many weird and wacky setups that, you know, Spirit's entire game plan just gets ruptured from it. They clearly had an idea of what they wanted to do in this round, but as soon as the round starts, they're already in a 5-on-3, untradeable. unsalvageable. They've just got to go back to the dry A play where they hope for the best and assume that Mir can get something done on this lurk. Re-smoke on the ramp. They've got to push past it. They can't wait. 40 seconds. It's time to go. And there it lands. I Disbalance walking through it. MDS not giving them a fight. They've got a man under the balk who's waiting for contact, and then he can swing with Speedak. There's the spot. Lollipop with one dropping the bomb, and Mia, oh dear, he's stuck in the connector on his own. He's not getting anywhere for free. Nemiga, they come into that round with 3 SMGs. They leave with 4 AKs.
Oh no, Spirit. What do you do from here? You're in a position where you can't even feasibly come straight back in and, you know, get the salty run back. You basically just have to tap out and say, fair enough, we'll get Deagles instead, 13-5. And I think a lot of people expected Nemiga to have a good chance at taking this map. But in this fashion, I'm not too sure. This has been way more one-sided than I anticipated.
Yeah, like I thought, you know, I thought maybe Nemiga take it in some scrappy back and forth winning comeback. You know, they win a crucial clutch or two, and you know that changes the economy in their favor. You know, like a lot of the time we have games where it feels like one team's winning, and then, you know, because it's back and forth, in the last couple of rounds, another team just takes the victory. Like Windstrike were in control of Overpass most of that game. They still lost the series. They lost the map. But until those final couple of rounds, it felt like they had it. And I don't think this is one of those games. Nemiga, they do have it. It's 13-5, about to be 14. The bomb's at T-spawn. Magix is dead. And Nemiga are just 2 rounds away from Spirit's map pick. Of course, this is their choice, but this is not a map the Spirit refused to play. They love a bit of Mirage. And Dust 2 up next, it's one that Nemiga know as well. So it's not like Spirit can go, don't worry, guys, they don't play Dust. Like, no, this is embarrassing right now, and they need to pick up some rounds. Or at bare minimum, put up a fight in the next map, because, you know, this one, it's coming down to this one rifle round again.
Certainly is. We have some more technical issues. Apparently some FPS drops are happening, so fingers crossed that things will be remedied shortly. Seems like both teams are readying up, so nice short technical issue. And now we are going to have 2 AWPs in play, full weapons across the board. And as Hugo highlighted, Spirit now down to what surely is their last lifeline. If they are unsuccessful in this, next round's not going to be faring too much better. And Nemiga would have 10 map points. Yeah, you heard that right. Spirit in real trouble. Speedak running with his back turned to middle, anticipating the flash, but it came too late. And Magix, that's the easiest kill he's going to get this entire map. And it could be coming up with a second as well. Spirit are going to finally get some kills.
Could be coming up with a round at this point, because Nemiga, no trades and no mid-control. They're in a 3-on-5. They're going to try and fight back tooth and nail, and MDS will nail Sunday Young to the wall. Chopper's deep in B. There's no sight player. That player's gone aggressive on Catwalk, and MDS wasn't ready for the deep position. Chopper with the drop, and now they're going to begin to rotate B, but Spirit are already there with the bomb in tow. Lollipop coming cat side, and Nemiga taking their time. But little do they know, Spirit, all 4 players in the site right now. There's the cross shot. I Disbalance doesn't let that orb get into picture, and Lollipop might just save after that kill.
That would make sense for him to piece out of there. 2 of his players are pretty low. You got Speedak at 1,000, MDS at 1.8k. 3 of them are very wealthy, so we're doing well to save so they can drop, and Nemiga can have another crack at this. Lollipop may also perch up for some exit frags. I mean, he must know that the T's economy is in no great shape, and as a result, Spirit have no intention of really chasing and charging him down, because it could do more harm than good. There's also a secondary AWP. I doubt you take 2 AWPs on T side of Mirage, especially when you're this far behind. So they're going to leave that one as it is.
Terrorists win. Well, nice round for Spirit. They salvaged something. They saved their bacon, even if it is for just a moment. But Nemiga with the bank to make anyone envious, really. And they could be able to continue to buy back up, at least for one more round. And after this one, the bonus is going to kick in. So, you know, then they have 6k on Lollipop, 4 on Geo. They can buy up. So, yeah, Nemiga are in a very good spot right now. They've got a few chances to shut this down before Spirits start to get confident.
Vox smoking himself off just to make sure any incendiaries would be extinguished. Nothing was really forthcoming, so he's going to stay in position. HE designated to the backside of B. Perhaps, but no one's there. So not really going to do too much. Bomb drop back at T-spawn. Spirit, tentative start to the round. Understandably, still so much working back into this. They've got to climb their way back in. Want to make sure they don't slip and slide and fall to their demise. Leaving one player, though, Hugo, here on A is a little bit worrisome for Lollipop. He's a very good player, but he doesn't really have much in terms of reinforcements.
Yeah, if he was playing CT to drop back and play retake, it'd be one thing, but he's in the site, so he's looking to get 2 kills and die. That's his hope here, to get a multi-kill. But yeah, we've got a mid-split right now, and right as Nemiga fall away from a 3-man mid setup, that's when Spirit attack. So at least Nemiga are close, and they can continue to push back in. Idis Ballas trying to escape with Box. Let him. Oh, yes, he will. Well, it's not really much of his choice. Idis Ballas with a quick shot back. And a 3-on-2 ensues with the player per site for Nemiga. Spirit, as long as they group, they can trade their way to a win. But worth noting, Lollipop can see Catwalk from his position. And so Connector is certainly a safer choice right now. That's where they'll go to. Lollipop needs to do it all here.
Triple Box going to show himself. Peeks out, gets fragged by Magic's. Important. And MDS... Again, the economy is pretty low. It's pretty dreary. Nemiga may try and save it. He is going in, at least to start things off. He spotted a player at CT spawn. He decides better of it. It's not a favorable angle to push back into the murder hole. And he knows it's basically suicide if he leaves the sanctuary of the B site. So he's just going to hide in. It does mean that the Spirit will pick up a 7th round. Nemiga, again, not going to be too bothered by this until they get a few more in a row. But at least Spirit are going in the right direction.
Yeah, that was very unlucky for Nemiga. They had a triple cat mid setup where they were trying to fight anyone coming out top mid, but no one pushed top mid for Spirit in 40 seconds. So, and then A smokes came over from 2 A players from Spirit. So Nemiga, they rotate A off the back of the smokes, and then Spirit take middle with 3 in the bomb. That's such a shame. If Nemiga just held their own, I understand why they rotate, but they held their own for 5 more seconds there, they'd probably win the round because Spirit would have just walked into this hugely heavy contested cat setup. And, well, things probably wouldn't have gone as well for them. And then with an anchor player on either side, MDS on B, Lollipop on A, they probably could have closed it out. So, yeah, would have been a very different situation. But Spirit, that was the intention. They threw those A smokes as a fake, and they drew the players out of middle. So any more tricks up your sleeve, Spirit? Group towards B early, clearing under and holding apartments. It's a gamble stack for Nemiga on A, with only Geo on B.
Geo with the Deagle. They do have 2 primaries in MP9 and the M4. They are situated over on A. The gamble stack seemingly not going to work out. And now the T is beginning to take systematic control over the apps and push and apply pressure. That's an awful Molotov. This actually isolates Magic's from the rest of his teammates. This could be easy pickings for Geo if he shows his hand, but unfortunately there's 2 more T's pushing on Catwalk, and so it's going to be okay. Geo, though, gets 1 dig and goes down without too much of a fight afterwards, and the rest of the CT's being cleaned up. But man, that Molotov whiffing in apps could have been crucial.
Yeah, it gave loads of time for Nemiga to get into the site, but what Spirit do well is avoid the flashbangs through the market and above the market. They dodge everything. Mir turns back, gets a couple of kills there as they come through the doorway, and Box, this is done. He's just looking for kills. He's hoping they'll exit apartments, and so he can grab an AK and scamper away. But at this point, Spirit, they are going CT side, and so 8 rounds taken. Box, he can run and tap the bomb. That will probably make someone from Spirit die with it, because now, even though he's not sticking it, he doesn't have time. They have to run back to B, and they'll realize, but he'll get away. If he's in apartments with the AK, he'll die to the bomb, no armor. But no, I like that play. I really like that play from Box, because even though it goes drastically wrong, not only does he not get out alive, he doesn't save the gun, no one from Spirit died, all of those things almost happened, right? Spirit, 2 players on 10 health. He almost got away with the gun. So in another world, maybe. But not today, not here, not now. And Spirit, they're starting to bring this comeback to fruition.
Brick by brick. They are building it. And Nemiga now have a goodbye again. Double AWPs in play. We know they like to run with this when they get the chance. Box using a bit of a cheeky angle down towards underpass, where a grenade is going to greet Chopper. Tags him down to 79. early utility being expended from the CTs. They have much less of it than the Ts, so Spirit going through into the latter stages of this round could be pretty good, and Box takes the initiative, goes aggressive, gets one. We know he likes to go for those aggro peaks on both sides of the coin, but now Spirit gonna be retorting to that push with one of their own onto the B side. Some die young, Molly and Frag. Magix comes in with one of his own. They still have Geo at the back of the site, but he's been swiftly dealt with additionally. And now Box gonna come in for his second, but it's looking as though Nemiga gonna pull the plug and save, and Spirit, I tell you what, this is going to be their 4th round in a row, Hugo. This is getting interesting now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to believe in them up against 14, but if there were ever a time, rather, Spirit, this is it. Like, they are a very good team in CIS and very good at dealing with CIS teams. So, you know, it was already a shock that Nemiga were up this dominantly 14-4, but I mean, or 14-5 rather, but yeah, now I'm starting to believe a little bit in the Spirit camp. You know, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, Vince. That's what we'll do. We don't have to say it's happening. We don't have to sign any contracts. But yeah, this is not a done game by any means of the word. Nemiga's map pick still under question. With every round that Spirit get, Nemiga get a little more sweaty. It's going to have to be an eco here. It could drop 2 M4s and buy 4 rifles, but if you want the AWP, if you want all the util, it should be an eco.
Yeah, there's no great rush here. Only thing they'd be rushing in is to a potential comeback. Boy, do they know it. P250s. Nemiga went for a gamble stack on A last time, leaving Geo with a Deeg by himself on B. This time it's more of the same. It's just MDS the P250 that's over there. Aggression outside the middle with a flashbang before it, but all it does is flash box. And his weapon goes with him, which was one of the M4s, one of the assault rifles. They still have an AK to play with. MDS is going to go aggro into B-Apps to try and find info. But, I mean, this is looking good for Spirit to hit double digits. This is looking good to get themselves one step closer.
Unless Lollipop has anything to say about it, that is likely the case. Waiting stairs side. One thing that, you know, like, compare these T sides, I think is a good way of like looking at these teams, because Nemiga, the amount of rushes, the amount of fast plays into sites, into B, into A, you know, no messing around. Now Spirit, they're doing the opposite. They are bleeding the time. They are sweating every single round. They are making sure Nemiga can't get aggressive and do what they do best, which is, you know, cause this chaos, and not allowed to when Spirit are holding every single choke point. So yeah, it's down to waiting for the T's to come your way and trying to trade effectively. It's so hard. Look at how hard it is. Lollipop, he gets a kill immediately removed by a disbalance from a pistol. So 2-on-1, MDS is the best shot Nemiga have had in quite a while at closing a round.
MDS takes a little bit of chip from the grenade, but still undeterred, pushes forward, presses bravely into battle. What could be the last passage of play in this round? Unless he can get this opening pick, which he does. Spinning around now. Knows he doesn't have a kid. Yes, quick headshot comes in as well. Nemiga, against the odds in that round, make it work. And now they're going to have 6 MAC points.
Oh my, that is a massive error from Spirit. The re-peek from the ramp as well, right? Like, you're hoping to catch the timing on the cross, but he'd already crossed past where you thought he was. He sees the arm. He knows you're going to go back in again. Lines up the shot. Like, that was really well played from MDS, but yeah, Spirit didn't need to peek. They didn't need to move there. They could have waited. Obviously, the reason the ramp player is peeking is because it's a default plant. And so if you know, MDS sneaks out and gets a timing and kills default, then the ramp player is screwed. So that, you know, you can't do much there if you're stuck ramp. So it makes sense as to why you're peeking. Just a bad timing for him. And Nemiga, map point here on their pick, a man up in this one as well. Oh dear. How the cookie crumbles. That is not what Spirit wanted to happen, and it's getting worse by the second.
How the tables turn. Originally turned sharply in favor of Spirit on their comeback, and the perspiration of Nemiga. That's turned to precipitation now for Spirit, and indeed it will fully fall to the ground should they lose this. But Mia with 2 with his AK-47 gonna keep that dream alive, gonna funnel away any potential tears. Mia now turns his focus elsewhere as the smoke now gonna dwindle on connector. speed axe barrel of the AWP gives him away, a big frag, and Spirit showing, okay, look, you got a crazy clutch, but let's be honest here, we kind of threw that round. We were on top. Let's regain that momentum. Let's start pushing towards the 16 rounds.
Well, like they did in the last, Nemiga did in the current, man. It just feels like they're playing like they've already won at times. You know, this aggression is, Spirit are holding for it. That's all Spirit do, it feels like, on this T side. Just wait. And they don't move until they get given kills. And Nemiga are giving them kills. So, yeah, Spirit got to take the site and the plant. So, another round for them by the looks of things. Nemiga trying to save. But yeah, like, I don't know. Nemiga, they had the advantage. They can tuck into passive setups and run crossfires, but they just love hunting the kills. And sometimes it's great, right? Sometimes you get your timing, you get a gap, and you find a huge flank. Well, there's the other side of the coin. You have a 5-on-4, you lose it in a 2-on-4 save. So massive round from Mia. Huge credit to him. And Spirit, that's 1 out of 6 map points taken.
It's really the duality of playing an aggressive style of CS is it can be very entertaining and you can create chances out of thin air, but my God, can you throw them away as well?
Yeah.
And that's one of those situations, as you highlight, that you're in an advantageous position. You're in cruise control. It's looking like, okay, you had a couple of jitters, there's a bit of turbulence, but now you're in cleaner air. And then suddenly it's a 2v4. Mia springs into action, a player, by the way, you really don't want to ignite because he will take over games. And suddenly things are looking a little bit more worrisome. Nemiga do get a buy, and it's not too bad. Decent amount of utility and a tag onto Idis balance, Hugo. So maybe they can still put this to bed yet.
Yeah, that being said, tag on your AWPer, not really of as much value. That's sick from Box. He sees the barrel, but he knows he can't get the guaranteed kill unless he drops in. So he just shoots the smoke in the same position. Mir gone. And that's the man to make it happen from the connector last round. So with him dead early, with the tag now, all contextualized, this is a very good round for Nemiga. Now, let's compare this 5-on-4 and see how these next kills go. See whether Nemiga give them away or if they can fall back passive. That looks to be the case, but Geo getting aggressive, and yeah, okay, it works sometimes, right? And that's why they're doing it. That's why they're getting aggressive, because sometimes it does work. 5-on-3, Some Die Young in the apps, he gets spotted, but he's got the AK, one-shot potential, lands it onto Geo, and all Spirit, they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah, they really live or die on these aggressive plays, and I can respect it. Not being put off because one round didn't go your way due to it, and actually sticking to what's been working by and large over the duration of this game. On the T side, super aggressive plays. They did mix in some slower paced action as well, but by and large, it was just full on, pedal down straight up into the face of the opposition. And now what could potentially be our last fight, our last battle, will take place on the B side of the map, and Box with the M4 locking it down. His teammate to his left has died on the bench, but both the remaining Ts are low, are struggling, and Box is putting them out of their misery.
Wow.
The Nemiga take the first map 16-10, and this best of 3 is very much alive.